In today's video, we're going to talk about making money feel easy. Welcome to my channel, Watch Her Rise. My name is Liza Lounsbury. And I'm going to share with you 3 shifts that I made in my life to remove money from the heavy, dark place of discussion to the light and abundant place that it is today. And I do believe that you will leave this video with ways that you can enhance your being, your thoughts, and the value that you place on money in your life so that it no longer feels so heavy, and instead you can trust that it's coming. So when I think about money, money is one of those things where it simply is an exchange for something of value. And value is a term that is conditioned based on your experiences. So what someone values right now could be completely different than what you value. If you're starving, you're going to value food more than an Uber. But if you are stuck in the rain trying to make a flight, you're going to value an Uber more than food. So value comes and goes, which is a good explanation as to how money is energy. Because at any moment, the energy can shift. Money stays constant at a high frequency vibration of abundance. It is the opposite of scarcity and lack. And so anytime you're thinking about money, this is my first shift I had to make. Anytime you're thinking about not having enough, you're affirming that you don't have it. And what's happening at that point is your subconscious is now relating that to familiarity, and familiarity is what creates safety. So your brain has one job, and that's to keep you safe. But safe doesn't mean good. Safe doesn't mean what you want. Safe means what you're familiar with. So what you're feeding your brain in your thought patterns is incredibly persuasive and influential into the realities of what your money is like in life. And when I stepped back and became consciously aware of the thoughts that I was having, it became apparent why I was feeling that money was so hard. My thoughts were absolutely out of control, extremely negative, pure lack. And so that is one thing that you can do today, is to tap into that higher level of consciousness within you and choose to be aware of what's going on in between here, because ultimately those thoughts are what are driving your feelings about money. And the good news about this is you can, in essence, shift those thoughts and shift your feelings. The thing to be aware of is that you can't just plant thoughts and think they're automatically going to work. You have to believe them. And the thoughts that you can put in your mind to help improve your relationship with money are going to be different than mine. And so when we think about affirmations, be mindful that you choose things that are in line with your goal. Because your brain's going to know the difference. You can't positively push your way into a direction. There is such a thing as toxic positivity. I can't talk today. I've been talking so much. Had some awesome clients today. So that is shift number 1, is what are you thinking about money? And where are there opportunities in your thinking patterns that are not serving you, that need an adjustment? And understanding that it's going to be from your higher place of consciousness and becoming aware of them in order to make that shift. Excuse me. And when you do, money becomes easier. And so it can be as simple as just saying money's easy. I'm going to decide that money's easy. That is how you collapse time in an identity shift, is you make the decision and become. Instead of, I got to think about it, I got to feel it out, I need to see if other people feel this way too, I don't know if this is actually what I should be thinking about. That's the period of time where it feels like it takes forever. So if you want to collapse that time, you simply accept that it is. And you operate from that state of belief. My second shift was to develop a sense of gratitude unlike anything I'd ever had before. Because gratitude is a frequency of abundance, or it's close to the frequency of abundance. And so what do I mean by this? I mean, I got obnoxiously grateful for everything in my life, from sun up to sundown. I'm so grateful I woke up today in a warm bed, in a home with a roof over my head, with a family. I'm married. I get up, I'm wearing pajamas. I'm so grateful for my toothbrush. I'm so grateful for my full set of teeth. I'm so grateful for no cavities or tooth pain. I'm so grateful that when I peed it didn't burn, I don't have a UTI. I'm so grateful that I have clean underwear to put on. I mean, like, gratitude like you would not believe. And what ends up happening is you start programming your brain to search for things that you're grateful for. Because what usually is happening in our mind when you become aware of the thoughts is we are pointing out every single problem. We're so quick to say what we don't want. I don't want to spend another day sending DMs. I don't want to spend another month overspending and having to use my credit card. I don't want. Flip it. I want. Because when you speak from a place of I want, you are thinking from a place of gratitude. You're creating future possibilities, and you are no longer living in a victimization mode, as though life is happening to you and that you are responding to it, versus you creating it and watching it unfold the way that you've developed it because you consciously made the choices. An example for this would be when I went to nursing school, I consciously created that timeline for myself. It started when I took the SAT. I said I need to get a certain score. It happened when I turned in the application to the university. It happened when I got in. It happened when I started my first year, second year. The way that I mapped out my classes, because I had to take certain classes by second semester, sophomore year in order to apply into upper division. From there, so it was this thing that if I didn't do that, I could have been like the others that didn't get into upper division and then blamed the world because this was too hard and this was too hard. So you want to go ahead and become the creator of your life by using these higher levels of consciousness and awareness to decide the thoughts that will lead to the actions that you take, the behaviors to give you the results that you want. The third thing, and so all of that ties into gratitude. Basically, building the awareness of things that you're grateful for, which increases your frequency to abundance, which then shifts your default mode network in your subconscious, which allows it to see more opportunities for things that you need to be grateful for. Because when you're not in a state of gratitude, you're wasting all this opportunity for all the growth that you do have. So even though the money might not be here yet, it sure as shit is on its way, because everything that you're doing is a part of that process. And we want to make sure that we are celebrating and grateful for each of those steps. If not, we are continuing to hold ourselves back in a place of lack. And so the third thing is recognizing the role that your subconscious plays in your ability to expand and receive money. And understanding that if your norm is to not have enough, or just enough to get by, or to always be in debt, that is your nervous system's default mode. It's called a default mode network. And so you're going to need some neuroplasticity to shift that. You need some new neural pathways because your subconscious is running and you're not aware. That's why it's subconscious. In order to bring it to your conscious, you continue with that level of awareness. And in case you don't know what that is, let's do a quick exercise. I want you to think in your mind, don't say it out loud, say the word hush. And now think in your mind, don't say it out loud, whisper the word hush. And now I want you to, in your mind, yell hush. So, when you think of the essence of you, you are not your thoughts. You put them there. You are not your body. You are the awareness. You are the observer. You are infinitely more intelligent and aware and conscious, or I should say you have the ability to be, than you are. You are a very complicated thing, energy. But so often we think we are our thoughts. We think we are our body. We think we are our results in life. It has nothing to do with who you are. And so understanding that, considering you have at your disposal the ability to separate and to consciously create any life you desire, is incredibly empowering. So when it comes to how your subconscious relates to money, that's going to be up to you to become observant of how you're thinking, how you're feeling, and that will highlight for you areas that you need to relax, where you need to create safety with abundance, where you need to shift the beliefs so that they're aligned with the future version of you. Because what got you here, that person, is not going to be the same identity of the person with a different reality. It just isn't. Can't be. You can't live the same life, act the same way, do the same things, be around the same people, and have a new reality. Your new reality comes from the result of you stepping into that identity, that version of yourself that has the reality. And so along with that comes a nervous system upgrade. And so many online business owners miss this foundational piece to money, including myself. So that when I signed my first high ticket client and they paid me in full $5,000, I thought I was going to puke. I had the world's most impressive panic attack while we went out to eat. We were going out to eat anyway. The conversation ended. I took the payment. We got in the car, and I just remember going there thinking, and I told my husband, I said, honey, I think this was a bad idea. I should have stayed home and meditated. And he said, well, let's just get some food in you and you can go home and meditate. And that's exactly what I did. But the whole time we were sitting at the table, I couldn't eat because it was just here on high alert. What did we just do? Are we able to do that? we just stole somebody's money. I mean, it was hysterical looking back how upset my nervous system was, because I still had areas in my relationship with money that I needed to heal. And so here's the worst part. After that, it was like I went 2 months without making a dime because my nervous system was shut down. Like, nope, we don't take money from anybody. We are good stewards. We provide service. You are a nurse, for goodness sakes. Your goal is to take care of people and help them get well. So I didn't earn a dime. And so this work is incredibly valuable. And what I'll say is, anytime you're on the cusp of an expansion in your business, you got to expand you first. Otherwise, you can collapse the whole thing. You can sabotage the whole thing. And that's a lot of work to put into something that doesn't come to fruition. And so the law of attraction, the laws of the universe, we attract, like attracts like. So you expand, then your business expands. And the whole point of this is to say that, one, it's okay to have fears around this stuff and to have a nervous system that's completely jacked that needs to be corrected. Been there, done that. Two, it's not okay to stay there and expect different results because it's scientifically not possible for you. Three, understanding that the power rests with you. That's the best part about this. It's not like you don't have to achieve anything in order to get the thing. You don't have to go and get a degree. You don't have to get a certification. You don't have to. No, everything is right here within you. So, making money easy comes down to several steps. Simply deciding that it is, becoming aware of what your thoughts are, and understanding that your thoughts are based on stories that you have in your relationship with money. The second part, which I'm completely gratitude. Shifting your frequency to gratitude so that you're more aligned with money. And then stepping into the identity. No, that wasn't the third one. Y'all can tell I don't do these things from notes. I just talked about the third one. And then 3, regulating your nervous system so that it perceives money as okay and doesn't resist. Any type of resistance, stress, that's a signal that your nervous system is dysregulated. And dysregulated and money don't go together. So these 3 shifts will increase the revenue in your business, make money so much easier for you. And they can be as simple as deciding they're done. It's going to be up to you whether you decide you want to draw this out or you just want to do it. Make the leap. That's what I did. Make the leap. The net's going to appear. Okay? Now, I also have something that is called it's an audio activator. It's something that you can listen to every day, and it helps program these beliefs and shift your frequencies and things like that. If that's something that you feel would be helpful for you, you can just hit play and listen to it 3 times a day, 4 times a day, whatever you want. I think it's like 3 minutes long. I will be glad to send that to you. I just need you to reach out or comment activation. Let's make it easier. Comment audio, and I'll make sure that you get that. I need your email address. We'll figure all that out. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time.